This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago, coming from the 606 Media Studios. This is the TCSF podcast with Big Z featuring Ivan from the Tape Never Lies Network. What up, brother? How are you?
Dude, I'm chilling. It's my day off. I've been I've been having me a little drinky drink, so I'm all right. I feel a little loose watching Monday Night Football. I got Monday. I got three screens going on.
Beautiful.
I got Monday Night Football. I got the Bulls, like I told you, God bless them. Like hopefully they could, whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the baseball game too. So the World Series on another screen. So it's sports Monday. You know what I mean? Hopefully it gets better throughout the week, but I doubt it. It was a shitty weekend.
Yeah.
Cherry on top, the Bears still suck.
I mean, that's a good and bad thing, and we'll get into it pretty soon. Episode 167 is brought to you by 606 Media, true Chicago sports fans, and Great Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to greatclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Oh, I got one on, too. Look at that.
Nice.
Woo! That's right. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code True15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15 for your official TCSF shirts. And, you can support the show with the monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Go over there, click on support, and you can subscribe for as little as 99 cents a month. But you know what? Like you just mentioned earlier, the Bears went to L.A., and it was like they did not charge themselves like your iPhone when you forget the charger. And they literally had no juice going into that game. Into beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. That place is phenomenal.
Yeah, it was hard to concentrate on, and it is beautiful. It was hard to concentrate on the scenery, especially when the product was absolute dog shit. And it's hard to, dude. I'm telling you, I'm trying to keep it,
Positive.
Not positive, but I'm trying to keep it where I'm not like completely just. These guys, effing, blah, 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 meatball. But it's just when you look at it, and I mentioned this before, you look at how this game plan for the offense has been run the past year, right? And including this year.
Yeah.
They still don't understand who they want to be as a team, as an offensive team.
Yeah.
I mentioned last week, run the football. Where do you set Deontay Foreman,
right,
for 4 weeks with no fucking explanation, and he's been a monster for 2 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And the running game completely disappears from the equation. And I get, the Bears ended up being down quick, and the defense is another story we'll get to.
Right.
But from the jump, and I mentioned, you have to get off the bus running. Tyson Bagent throwing 38 passes in his second game ever. And I get it, like he looked great last week. The competition gets better. It didn't look great when you forced him to try to be the guy. And part of me feels like that was the plan the whole fucking time. Was to be like, aha! We got this guy. Look at this guy. We got him now. You know what I'm saying? And just trying to be the smartest motherfuckers in the room, which they're not. And you have to, last week, Matt Nagy. Might as well be. But Matt Eberflus went ahead and said, hey, there's multiple ways to win. We believe in running the football. No, you fucking don't. No, you fucking don't, because you changed again. That Minnesota game, where do you think the success was coming from? 12-man formation, 13 heavy sets, run the football down their fucking throat, run the football on the outside, put that pressure on those DNs to make a fucking play, run them the fuck over. That's what was working, and they decided to flip it, and that's when Justin was in. That's when Justin was in. Justin just had his best game.
And that's how he got hurt.
And that's how he got hurt. They decided to flip it instead of sticking with what was working.
Yeah, completely agree. The game plan should have been continue to run and take the ball away from Herbert. Like you said, run it down their throat. What you're going to do is you're going to push Khalil Mack and Bosa off the ends, because now they got to chase the runner. So they're not charging in. That's going to allow your quarterback to have time in the passing game. And they, like you said, they went completely opposite of the game plan that took them to a win. A dominating win. This guy had 9 carries. 9 carries for 34 yards. Yes, I know Rashawn Johnson got in there for 6 carries. Evans got 4 and he got a touchdown. But there should be no reason that this running game should not be having featured back 15, 20, 25 carries. Take the time of possession. You are not a team that can come back from a 14-21 point deficit. You are not those boys. And your offensive line cannot block for more than 4 seconds. This is why the kid's like 1, 2, boom, out. 1, 2.
Thank God. And that's
Well,
a part of him.
Smart.
Right. He could do that.
Yeah, and people are giving Tyson Bagent a lot of shit, and I really don't think it was his fault. He was literally stacked against at the beginning, and guess what? He is not that guy. And granted, he took some shots downfield the first play of the game over the Mooney. Mooney should have had a touchdown. Mooney should have, at minimum, a field goal. So you got 3 points. But it should have been a touchdown. The refs fucked you over. And guess who's over on the sideline? Twiddling his thumbs. Throw a fucking flag. Throw a tangent. Go on the fucking field. Throw a tantrum. Bro, where are you at? Where is your passion as a coach to be like, dude, you fucked it up? So what? If I get a flag, I get a flag. Fire up your team. Let them know you're fucking behind them instead of throwing everybody under the bus.
You know, it was very hard. Like, I was watching the game at work, and it was like I'm just squirming, you know, in my like watching this thing, like, and I'm doing my job, but I'm keeping an eye on the game at the same time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's hard for me to especially if I see something real quick and it's bad, I'm gonna show some type of emotion. Like, I'm gonna but obviously I have to remain professional. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. Some of us do, right? But I can't just, you know, motherfuck everybody.
Oh God.
And you know, and on the screen, I can't just go nuts. Like, it's just like, come on now, like, that's ridiculous. So I'm like, I'm just like, I'm sure they think I have like Tourette's or something, and it's like, I'm serious, like, it's a real thing, which, and I'm not poking fun at those people that do, but like the way that I'm acting, I just
twitching.
It's so bad. It's so bad watching this team. And like, I would say this about how they operated as a defense. And it reminds me of the end of Sean Desai, right? With Sean Desai, like, they had no, and Sean Desai now looks amazing with the fucking Eagles defense, like, with all the Eagles players.
He's got all the toys to play with.
So, like, I remember Sean Desai not being aggressive. They, at the end of games, at the end of halves, they would be so conservative to the point where these guys are just like, here you go, just throw it to the guy, and he has 25 fucking yards.
Yeah.
Before somebody's running up to fucking hit him. Like, they're just going to go Hail Mary when they got 15 seconds left, 25 fucking seconds left. Like, it's just, it reminds me so much of the last regime, and the last regime reminds me of the regime before, and the regime before was just, you could just smush them all to fucking together, and it's just been the same fucking garbage for the past decade.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else to say. I'm obviously going to continue to, like, report on these fucking things and talk about it because it's a part of me. It's a team we love.
I know. Look, you're so animated.
And this is what they've fucking done to this team.
Yeah.
Guys like this. Like, this is where, like, the greatness where they came from, this is fucking garbage. From the greatness that they were, from the teams that they were, from all the championships before the merger, from the 85 Bears, from the 2000s Bears with Urlacher and Briggs and Tillman and Alex Brown and Adewale Agunleye and Tommy Harris and all those guys that I grew up with.
Right.
How the fuck do you get to this again? And it hasn't been a consistent thing. It's been here and there. You have never had anything consistent, but you consistently pick these guys that are the same fucking person, the same shit. They promise a lot. They smile in your face. They say all the right things, probably in an interview, right? They go to church with Mrs. McCaskey or whatever. I believe that was Dick Duran that did that.
Yeah,
they do. This is the type of shit that needs to change. The person you have leading your football team is like that philosophy of who you think should be it. Fuck that shit. Go get me Jim Harbaugh. Go get me somebody who's going to address the shit play, the address the mistakes, address when and tell and be truthful about it to an extent. Agree, you don't have to tell everybody everything, but address the fucking situation at hand in your locker room. Because right now, everybody is doing bare minimum. Nobody looks like they need that they're a starter in the NFL or on this football team. And I'm not talking about DJ Moore, but I'm talking about the rest of the cast and crew. Nobody seems to be wowing me. Everything just seems to be blah. That's it. This is what your team is, a blah fucking team. Writing's on the wall, bro. This is over.
It is wash, rinse, and repeat with the Bears, the Bulls, the White Sox. It's just the same regurgitation over and over, and it's just a frustration. Eladio over there watching, thanks, brother. I'll take the words out of Deion Sanders. We're playing like hot garbage. Bro, no words could have been truer. No words could have been truer. When your tight end continues to jump off sides, I don't understand that. Do not understand how your tight end continues to jump off sides. You don't target your number one receiver. I don't give a shit if he's triple covered. You have to throw it at him at some point. You've got to move the defense or move the quarterback. He did a good job moving defense with his eyes. Get someone off of him. Put him in the slot. You cannot just keep on the outside and not throw over the middle. And if you don't throw over the middle, they're just going to be like, all right, cool. Easy work here. I'm just going to stand right here and watch you throw and just pop the dude is going to catch the ball. And guess what? There was an interception that Mooney should have caught. Literally caught it, got hit, coughed it up. Dude, you're in a critical situation. You've got to catch the ball. You want more throws to you? You got to catch the ball. The offense, I think that Getsy gets too cute. He's like, oh, I know the exact. He goes, Matt Nagy, I'm the smartest man in the fucking room. No, you're not. No, you are not.
There's a saying, and I don't have the correct quote, and I'm sorry if I'm going to butcher it, but Bill Parcells, he goes. It goes by. It goes like when a coordinator tells you he likes to run. A young coordinator tells you he likes to run the ball. You probably ain't going to believe him or something to that effect. Because all these guys, all these younger guys start to bail as soon as they get scared. As soon as things go against them, they bail on the fucking running game because they want to implement their shit.
Yep.
You've seen it. Like I said, look at the Washington game. Other than DJ Moore, they ran the ball well. Khalil Herbert was running people over.
Yep,
they ran the ball well. Then what did he do? Go out, go boom, spread. The first fucking play of the game, spread, sack on Justin Fields. It just doesn't make sense. And it continued that way. They didn't run the ball until later in the game against the Vikings. But by then it was too late.
Right.
So it's you got to be able to trust your running game as a young coordinator. It doesn't seem like this guy wants to. And that's why I said it looks like a Matt Nagy type of situation because he does things you saw little flashes with Nagy when it came to Mitch, right? In the running game. You saw some flashes And then the next week, boom, immediately get away from it. Never do it again. Never have 2 running backs in the backfield. Don't have a fucking fullback. You're not here to run the I formation when your entire personnel screams I formation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Heavy sets, run the football, work off play action. It's your quarterback's best friend is a fucking good running game, man.
Yep.
You got a good running game that could generate yards. Your young quarterbacks begin to look a lot more competent and a lot better. And that doesn't dismiss the blocking, bro. Like that doesn't dismiss the blocking because fucking Lucas Patrick was in he was in the lap of Roshan Johnson on a 4th and 2 or 4th and 1 late in the game
with a bullet
like,
tip.
and it's just a travesty of how this team operates. And it starts with the head coach and it starts with the coordinators. You know what I'm saying? It starts with those guys. Their coaches are what they're reflecting, right? This is who you are.
Right.
And it's fucking garbage.
It's hot garbage. It looks like they can't develop anybody. I mean, that was a long first down, and I didn't even get to that saying that, but that was our first down. Second down, my second topic for the Bears. Is it time to make trade and release players who are hurting the team, a la Velus Jones, Lucas Patrick, and Jalen Johnson?
Okay, so
yeah, I love the deep breath.
Jalen Johnson, I could see being moved, and there was a trade put out there by our guy at the Tape Never Lies, Shane, the smartest man. He just sent it to me. Where was it? Because we were talking about just this, and we were talking about going after.
What are you? What
going
was
after Chase Young? Going after Chase
Oh
Young.
yeah, Chase Young. Yeah, Chase Young. Go ahead.
And I believe it was like, oh, here we go. Trade him to San Francisco for their second, and then it'll be like a later second, and then try to flip it to Washington. And I'm like, okay. I mean, if you can't trade him straight up, and Washington wants a draft pick, I agree with him. I agree with him there. So, any ways possible, go ahead and get a pass rusher because you've already seen with a Jalen Johnson now, with Eddie Jackson now, with the Jaquan Brisker out, you pretty much held your own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you were able to hold your own. Or I mean, it can't get any worse. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't get any worse. And I think Brisker's going to be out quite a while because he had some weird concussion issues.
Yeah, delayed concussion.
Yeah, delayed concussion issues. So I doubt he'll be available this week. But in my opinion, the gaping hole is that D line and the lack of pressure you can generate with 4. It's so bad. And I get Chase Young is a risk with the injuries. He is a risk with the injuries. But if you're able to get a guy like him or a Montez Sweat, you have to be able to take the risk because right now I think jobs are on the fucking line. I really do. And it's in beyond the coaches. I think Ryan Poles at this point, you're being assessed, and the assessment doesn't seem to be good. Like I know the fans, and I know a lot of the media are kind of it's starting to twist that way. Like what's going on? But it doesn't look great. So I'll say this: all I know is if my boss shows up and starts watching, regardless of what people think, it was prime time, and it was. But if my boss is there and is on the screen, writing shit down and watching, it's usually not good. You know what I'm saying? Like it's usually not a good thing because he could have stood his ass up in the box, not been just hanging out, mingling, and getting creating contacts and stuff like that. But unless he was going ahead and looking at the side and writing about, man, this side is great. We could use this. Like you have to be assessing the team. Like there's no bigger, like I said, there's no bigger, in my opinion, project than rebuilding the Chicago Bears football team before you go ahead and start building them the biggest fucking stadium you're probably going to think of, because I'm pretty sure that that's where it's going to end up being. It's going to be the biggest stadium, the Chicago scene. It's going to be all out. And if you're going to put a shit product out there, who's going to fucking show up to pay for that? Who's going to show up?
You do have the man that you hired to be essentially the CEO of the Bears that's going to handle the financial stuff, and everything falls under him. He is taking a year to evaluate everybody because everybody was hired in place before he was brought in. So his job is like, I'm taking notes. All right. Ryan Poles, you fucked up on this trade. Claypool, ooh, second round draft pick. We could have used that. Was almost the first round. Yeah, that's not good. I'm gonna take that off. Yeah. Who else did we? Lucas Patrick. Why is this dude on the team? Yeah, that's another mark. And essentially, he's just going down the road like, all right, well, Ryan Poles, he fucked up here. Where's his wins? He got a couple wins here, and then you look at Eberflus. He's a great defensive coordinator. He should not.
Is he a great defensive coordinator?
He had a great defense in Indy.
Okay, well, whatever is happening in Indy isn't what's happening here in Chicago.
No, it's not translating.
And if you look at yesterday, it's not fucking good against good teams. It's not good against good quarterbacks. You know what I mean? And I got to shout out Shane again. Like, you got to list the quarterbacks that Matt Eberflus has beaten. It's not good.
No,
they're not good.
No,
they're not quality. No. And if we're gonna go ahead and be 100%, right? We're looking at him throughout all these interviews. You could see a change because he's starting to open up more, and I feel like it's more of like a desperation because he knows there's nothing else you can you can't sit here and paint it pretty. It's an ugly fucking pig. It's an ugly pig. There's no amount of makeup that could cover this shit.
Yeah. You have the whole Justin Fields saying these coaches are not coaching me correctly. You guys are giving me too much. You're making me do stuff I'm not good at. You're not allowing me or putting me in positions for me to succeed with the skills that I have. Literally telling that to the media. And then make him apologize for that, for speaking his mind and speaking his truth. And so you're not protecting that quarterback. You literally have a guy who's a Ferrari of a quarterback. Yes, he can run. But if you look at his tape, he can throw as well if he has the time. Now, can he process? That's been his issues, processing defenses. But you're looking at a really good player that you're ruining because you want to do it your way, kind of like Matt Nagy and Trubisky, instead of adopting your play calling, your philosophy to the players that you have here. And it's very, very simple. Adjust to the talent that you have here.
Exactly. Perfectly said. That's it. Perfectly said. And if you're not going to do that, then we're wasting our fucking time with you. Like, you can't just
10 years. We're wasting our time the past 10 years.
Yeah, you can't just expect trust me, there's been so many amount of involvement that has been the reason why we've gotten to this point.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at what's been promised and what has worked, they just don't seem to want to believe in what works here in Chicago, right? You had a great defense. You had a great running game. And I'm not saying that that's where I want to be, right? I obviously want a dynamic passing game as well.
Yeah.
But in order to establish that, right, you're going to have to establish it. It's so like nauseating to say over and over and over again, right?
Yeah.
Build that offensive line, then work that running game. Build the defensive line, and then let's see if we could go ahead and begin a play action game that's successful. Let's see if we could go ahead and pass block for our quarterback. You just never done that. Everything's ass backwards with this franchise. We're getting pieces left and right, and we're just plugging them in. Hopefully it'll work one day. Hopefully we hit the right formula one day and we accidentally, go on a run. That's pretty much where I feel like with this franchise at this point.
100%. You hired a coach, then the GM, and then the president. That makes no sense. But to your point of building a team, you look at a team like San Francisco. We're not talking about the Brock Purdy situation because I don't think he's that great of a quarterback. He's in a great situation with a great offensive mind that caters to the quarterback. You look at a team that built their offense and defensive lines first. They went and made a trade for one of the best running backs. They run the ball, play action, and the kid doesn't have to throw far. Now, when you put that kid in that situation that we're talking about, Purdy, he does not look good because you have to put it all on him. He is not made that way, just like Bajan's not made that way. He's there to game manage, get you 10, 15 yards. Maybe he'll hit one out of 3 deep routes. Okay, you stretch your field a little bit, bam, go back to the running game and pound it on them. Take time of possession and let the defense do its work. Give you the ball back. Again, time of possession. Just take the ball away from the offense on the other side. I'm not asking for Patrick Mahomes. I'm really not asking for Patrick Mahomes because this team, these coaches, this organization would never be able to develop a player that way. They don't know what to do with that. I don't even know what to say because they're so frustrating because we've had tons of talent and we've never developed them. A lot of you over here, I seen a stat where they compared Justin Fields' first 28 games to Michael Vick. Fields is on pace to be just like him or better. Fields' numbers were slightly better. Oh, with an O-line, guys. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll put it up. I'm watching a guy right now that I critiqued hardcore coming out of Cal in Jared Goff, right? Yeah. Jared Goff gets put on the Rams, takes him to the Super Bowl, gets exposed in said Super Bowl, and then the Rams, you could see the writing on the wall there the year after. They go ahead and get rid of him, right? He's tossed to the wind. The Lions pick him up. Everybody's talking shit about him. Look at what they've done with that Lions team. What have they done? They've done nothing but build both sides of the line, right? Mm-hmm. Offense and defensive line. They got him weapons, right? Yep. So they're able to protect him, and they got him weapons.
A very reliable running back.
And a very reliable running back.
He can catch.
A tight end that's reliable. And another tight end that's you had a tight end in Hockenson that was reliable. Then you get another tight end that's reliable in Laporta.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Once you get rid of Hockenson, so it's like they're like you're telling me that you're gonna just cast away Justin Fields. If anybody's trying to just discard him right now, I feel like that's such a mistake.
Yeah,
I feel like it's such a mistake, and I'm not. It's nothing against Bajan because the kid has been impressive. He belongs in the NFL. It's probably as a backup, but he belongs in the NFL. Like I said, if he becomes a starter, it's up to him, right? It's up to his play and what he does moving forward. But he belongs here. He deserves a job in the NFL. Justin Fields doesn't deserve to lose his job or be cast away just because he got hurt and the people that he's entrusted his career with don't seem to fucking understand how to utilize him best. And it's just, for me, you utilize Justin by the same shit we said before. Make sure you protect him, but if you can't protect him in this situation, what is your best trait? You could run the fucking football. So do that and work off of that. If Justin wants it a little bit simpler, make it simpler for him.
Mm-hmm. Slants 5,
make
7,
it
10.
Yes. If he wants this, do that.
Yes,
do that. Just don't go ahead and try to force an identity on a player when their their traits, their assets that they bring to the table aren't fitting.
No, you have one receiver that can break from a defensive player. One. Everyone else can't get that separation. You have to scheme it. So if he doesn't have DJ Moore, he's like, well, who else can I throw to? Moody's? Yeah, there's somebody on Mooney. Oh, there's someone on Komet. Shit, my running back's blocking for me. I've got nowhere to go. I got to run. It's a catch-22. if you're not doing what benefits your quarterback and you're not running the ball to push their defensive line back so that they're not rushing on you all the time, because they're gonna have to be more on the defense pushing coming back instead of trying to attack your quarterback, you're gonna lose every single game. And I know we're trying to get a better pick, but at the expense of a pretty good quarterback, are you gonna injure a quarterback over and over?
At this point, I don't give a fuck about the pick. This team,
Picks are suspect. That's how we say.
yeah, but the team is, you're in your second years with this coaching staff. This team is supposed to take a step somewhere, and I just don't fucking see the steps. You know, you see a flash here. You think they get it. You see them running the ball 30 times with the running backs the game prior to this game. You think they get it. And then the next week, they completely forget what got them the victory.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, let's move over to third down. What is the future for Justin Fields? When is he coming back? I know we already Eberflus already said that he is not playing the next game. I believe is New Orleans, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not playing against New Orleans. So when is this kid coming back? Because he is the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears. So don't get it twisted. He did not lose his job, but is an injury. So he had the soft cast. When is this kid coming back?
I would imagine they not risk it because they want him to come back.
Right.
So if he's not feeling it this week, or after this week, if he's not able to grip the ball, I would say that they're just going to continue to week by week it until he can ultimately go, because you have to see what you have in Justin. And to be honest with you, man, call me crazy, bro, but like, maybe you go ahead and pick up this fucking option with the kid and still draft a quarterback. So now you got 3 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You got a guy that's been in the league that needs this, that still you don't know what you have. You got another guy that's, you know what I'm saying, that's fresh, a rookie, and you got a guy that's in his second year, still that's shown that he's been of quality. I just think that you need to get rid of the coaching staff and the people that are entrusted to
develop these guys.
Develop them. It's been shit, and I don't see any development whatsoever. Like I said, I think they just threw Bajent to the wolves a little bit yesterday. It was not great.
Not great at all. You're looking at the Saints, which was November 5th, and then they have a quick turnaround 4 days later, and they play on Thursday Night Football against the Panthers. And whether you win or lose, I think that's it. It's a catch. It's either way. It sucks if you win or lose. But then they got 10 days before they play the Lions. That's when I think Justin Fields will be back. I think the 19th is the most reasonable time to give him another 20 days, 21 days, 3 weeks to get that grip strength back, because it does take a long time. I mean, we've both dislocated fingers before. It takes a while. I know he's young, but 12-inch and 16-inch softball has broken a lot of fingers on his hands.
Yeah. No, I mean, it'll be a minute. Like you could still play, but it's the thumb. That's the difference. You've seen Justin Herbert yesterday. He was playing with a finger cast on. So like, if it wasn't the thumb, I think Justin's playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't the thumb, but since it is his thumb, and he needs to hold on to that football, and you've already fumbled a lot. Like, let's go ahead and be as cautious as we can. Get him 100%, as much to 100% as he can.
Is it time to tank?
No, don't tank.
Okay.
Don't. You start doing that,
you're gonna lose the locker room.
You're gonna get empty. You're gonna get an empty fucking seats from here on out, and I guarantee it. Like at this point, you'll get empty seats from here on out. If you show an inkling of moving guys out or not going for it in certain situations, there's gonna be so much heat coming from the media, from the fans, you would have to probably fire these guys in season. And I just don't think I just think that they'll masquerade it enough to show that they are trying to develop, but like I don't think that they have the balls to go ahead and do that. I don't think they have the balls.
I hope they really don't. I don't think that's going to be the plan to do that, because there's too many jobs on the line, especially for the coaching staff, because they have to prove out that they are the ones to keep going forward. So I don't see them tanking, but I do see us being like the third, fourth pick and the ninth pick or some shit like that. So I still think Carolina is a pretty good, decent team where they can win a couple games. We have the Saints in our punt segment. You know what? I don't see the Bears winning this one. And every time we say we don't see them winning, they end up winning. And every time we say they're gonna win, and they lose. So I say Saints 42, Bears 16.
I'm gonna go with the Saints. I'll go with the Saints, and I don't even know the score.
It's a lot too little.
Yeah, it's gonna be something like that. I just think that they're going to continue to be this up and down team. Bold prediction, right? I'll say that they will perform in the first half, and in the second half, they'll once again become the Bears. Like Cinderella at midnight. Once that halftime whistle blows and going into the second half, they'll turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah, yeah. So you're gonna see Derek Carr light them up for like 250 yards. Because I don't have any trust in that defense right now. You're probably looking at Alvin Kamara to have a breakout game, because everyone has a breakout game against us. It just ends up being that way. It's not gonna feel good to see this game. I'm more interested in seeing the garbage versus garbage in Carolina versus the Bears. That's probably the game I do want to watch.
Well, I mean, that one I'm going to be cheering hardest. We're going to have to cheer our hardest ever, because we don't want the Panthers to come in here and pull off, which I don't know if it's an upset or not. It might be an even. The line might be even for that game, to be honest with you.
I'm like, I don't know. You can go
it's up to you. Pick your poison here. I don't know. But it's that bad, man. I don't really trust the Panthers. I could see us accidentally winning again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, actually, I could see us accidentally winning a couple times. But if we lose out, I wouldn't be surprised with that either, with the way everything's been operated. Like, there's been no sustained
success here.
No, not success. The standard. There's no sustained standard.
Yeah.
Right? Hits isn't shit.
No.
Right? Hits isn't shit. So your standard is now in flux. What is the standard here? Who are we? Who are you as a football team? Who do you want to be? Why aren't you fucking blitzing and allowing the guy to stand in the pocket for 10 seconds and fucking pick you apart?
With a broken finger.
And guess what? Once they started blitzing TJ Edwards, you put him on his ass a few times.
Yeah.
Fucking shock. I'm telling you, I'm trying to keep myself at ease, because, like I said, I've had a couple, and I don't want to get all animated here, although I can't help myself. But it's been my life, your life, pretty much, right? You know what I mean? It's been our life. Like, what happened in the 90s? Nothing. A year in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? What happened in the 2000s? Well, thank God they drafted Urlacher and Briggs, and Jerry Angelo did some things right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was the 04-05 Bears, right?
Yeah. What since 80? Well, I'll say since the early 90s, right? Like since 1990, 91, the Bears haven't been anything.
No.
And even prior to that, prior to 85, they were still bad.
The
70s were a whole decade plus.
Yeah.
They were bad.
Yeah.
So this is getting to be a team who has been historically bad instead of being historically good.
You know what? Let's close on that. All right, we'll be right back with the loop after a word from our sponsors, and we'll get Ivan more animated when it comes to the Bulls.
Only the Bulls.
Oh man! All right, here we go. Where's my commercial? There we go.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15
for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to No War on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's take it back over to Big Z.
Thanks, boys. Thanks, boys. Well, welcome back to the TCSF podcast. This is The Loop, our Chicago sports roundup where we keep you in the loop.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
All right, Ivan. You know that music. I got to turn it off.
Champions. That's the music of champions.
Okay, let me turn it off. Let me turn it off.
We can't play that music for this fucking team. All right.
I had to.
Championship music. It felt good. Trust me. Every time I hear it, I'm like, yeah. Except for.
Then you realize
because I went to at Lakeview, right? My high school, I graduated from. This was our warning for the beginning of the period. So yeah, Alan Parsons' project was the warning for the beginning of the period. So every time that would go on, I'm like, we gotta start running.
I
didn't run. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't run. I didn't run. I was like, oh well, I'm gonna be there. I'll be there when I get there.
Oh boy.
But yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. Remember last week when we said that Pat Williams wanted $20 million a year?
I did.
That didn't work out too well for that boy, did it? In the Chicago Bulls' first 3 games, Williams has played a combined of 9 minutes, 35 seconds of the 41 minutes spanning 4 quarters and 1 overtime. And he scored nothing. He's a big dog talking about
shooting for the stars, bro. You can't just be doing that. You can't be doing that. Like you have to have a year plus Pat Williams because they drafted you like you was gonna be the next one.
No, like, he was off the bench.
They drafted him like he was the hidden treasure.
Oh, 100%.
Nobody saw he was going to be the next one.
Oh, yeah.
So this is another folly of the front office of the Chicago Bulls, man. And it's starting to get like, trust me, I don't miss Garpax. I don't miss Jim Boylan. I don't miss. This is even more frustrating because it's just we're at a blank sheet again, right? Another blank slate. Like I don't. What does Zach do for us? What does DeMar do for us? I mean, DeMar at this point, like I prefer DeMar over Zach, right here, right now. But even then, it's like, what are you going to do with this team? Who comes and takes this team to the next level? I just don't know. Can Zach finally mature enough to be a team player? Can there be a compromise of who gets the ball in what situations? I don't understand how this team is going to get out of this rut without moving some of these pieces.
I think this again goes back to coaching. You picked a coach that does not do well with big personalities. You saw what happened in Oklahoma City with the big personalities. He could have handled them. So you have a bunch of B and B plus players. You do not have a superstar. You do not have a star on this team. Vucevic is a consistent double machine. Bet it every single game. Take it to the bank. He's already got 12 rebounds and 17 points as we speak right now. The kid's consistent. If you feed him the fucking ball, put him in the post, feed him the fucking ball, he can get you 20 points a game. Just keep feeding him. Let the defense collapse, and guess what? Now you spread the offense because your three-point shooters are gonna be wide open. It's a very simple formula. We know it. Everyone who watches the Bulls knows it. Just like the Bears, we watch the Bears. We know you got to run the ball and hold the time of possession clock. DeMar DeRozan, we know he's consistent. He may have an off night here and there, but he's going to get you your 20 to 25 points. He'll get you what you need. Is he the best three-point shooter? No, he's never been. He's a mid-range guy, but he's a leader. He's definitely the leader. Zach LaVine, to your point, when is he going to mature into taking the good shots instead of rushing the ball? When is he going to stop fucking fumbling the ball like he's Justin Fields when he has 3 linebackers on him? Zach LaVine has trouble dribbling through the defense, and all he does is throw his hands up and starts complaining to the ref. Nah, bro, get your ass up back on defense.
One all-star appearance doesn't give you fucking grace like that. And trust me, like I know it's bullshit. Like the referees can be on bullshit.
Oh yeah,
but Zach himself has. It was a desperation attempt to go ahead and sign him, and Zach hasn't lived up to no max deal, and he's just.
It was all up the time. That's why
it just hasn't been going well for, in my opinion, for him and the Bulls. I think that they need to go ahead and reassess what they're doing come next year. I think a lot of these guys are going to be gone by the deadline.
I agree. I think a lot of these guys should be gone and just go ahead and blow it up. Try to get as many picks as you can. And are you going to keep Donovan? Can he develop the next batch of kids? I don't think so. You had Patrick Williams, Kobe White, who's inconsistent. When you get Javon Carter from Milwaukee and he's already got 11 points, that's more than Patrick Williams, who's been here 3 or 4 years, whatever. You have Torrey Craig already with 5 points. Drummond 5, 3, and 2. He's got 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. The man's old. He's probably almost our age. And the kid, he still produces. It's just Dalen Terry, they sent him back down. How are you going to develop a player if you're fucking yo-yoing him between the end of the roster over here and the end of the bench to the G League? Oh, he needs more seasoning, more time. He's not going to get better against high school talent down there. He's way better than them. So he's not going to do that well when he comes up here and he's playing against, the West, where it has top tier point guards. It's just so frustrating to have a team with a bunch of talent with no direction, no identity, and no superstar. You're muted. You're muted, Ivan.
I said, yeah, I don't have anything. Honestly, I might as well have been muted because there's nothing more I could say about this basketball team.
Yeah, Zach scores 51 and the rest of the team scores 51.
Right, it's desperation. Like everything that they do. It's like if you're trying to be positive, it just feels like desperation. It doesn't look good for this franchise moving forward. What are we? Are we a playoff team? No, I don't think so. You're gonna run it back with this team? Are they a playoff team? No. They still don't look like a playoff team. They look like the same fucking team from last year because they're the same team.
They are it's sad. It's right now to be a Chicago sports fan. Only the Bulls and the White Sox who run the same organization. You might as well put some White Sox players on here too. Fucking why not, right? Why not? The other team that plays in that building, the Madhouse and Madison Blackhawks, went over to Vegas And you know what? I thought they were going to get blown out, and they came out with a W. And this was after they had lost, I think, to Boston at home. And the coach was tired. He's like, I'm tired of mortal victories. Tired of mortal victories. So are we, coach. So are we. He runs a hard practice the next day, and that led to a win. This is what I'm talking about. Holding your players accountable. Hey, oh my God, you had another assist, or you played more time. Good job, Billy. No, stop giving trophies and medals for participation. It's very simple. This is a results business. It is a business. It's a result business. Yes, it's sports, but it's a result business. And if you're not producing, well, you need to be shipped out and do something else. Go deliver packages for FedEx, or go be a truck driver, whatever you need to be. But if you're not producing for our Chicago teams, the Blackhawks, the Bulls, Cubs, White Sox, Bears, the Sky, you need to go. Oh, congratulations to the guy who just got the new coach. But it's go ahead.
It's the fall from grace of the Chicago Bulls. Like you being a little older than I, right?
Right.
You remember a little differently because probably just because you were able to do a lot more. I was still a little kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I still can remember the vibes. I still remember going to Grant Park. Remember the championships out on, like, it's so like right there still with me, like burned into you, like how good we were. Anything less than you being a contender for the Chicago Bulls is fucking garbage to me. Like, it's
Bulls,
garbage.
Blackhawks,
Anything less. And then the Blackhawks as well, with how they, especially in recent years, the Cubs, like I'm to the point in my fandom, and it's probably because I'm getting old, but you can't be settling for just bullshit for more than 2-3 years because you like somebody, or because you have some type of connection, or if it's not working, it's not ever gonna fucking work, in my opinion. Like, and some things can be, yeah, some things could change. Like, I can't say that it's always like that, but Billy Donovan in this experiment, it has a very you cannot do what you did with guard packs, where they had was it a decade plus of just fucking the Chicago Bulls over and over, lucking to Derrick Rose.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't you sign any one of those free agents of the big three? You know, there's a reason you probably couldn't do that. And it probably, I don't think it was who was running the organization, Pat Riley or fucking these clowns over here.
Yeah, I'm going with Pat Riley.
I'm going with Pat Riley.
I'm going with a proven winner. A proven winner. Yeah, and it's like you said, it's like that feeling between, I grew up watching the Bulls, I was a little older, and you know, it was must-see TV. It was so good that my dad, who was not a sports person, went to Montgomery Ward, got the biggest TV he could afford.
Montgomery Ward.
Yeah, he went to Montgomery Ward over there on it was on Addison in Sacramento. Went over there, got the biggest TV he could afford. I think it was like a 46 or 48 inch sharp TV. All the features on it, picture in picture, all that cool stuff. And he's like, how do we watch the Bulls? I'm like, well, they're on Channel 9 or if they're on cable. He's like, all right, cool. He's like, all right, we'll watch them. We're going to watch every single game together. I'm like, all right, cool. Because I was going to watch them anyways, whether you were there or not. But the fact that I got the bond with him, and he would like, yeah, he was like, why aren't they giving the ball to Jordan? I'm like, you can't give the ball to Jordan every play. I mean, he's gonna touch the ball, but he can't shoot every time. Or like, he'd be yelling at Luke Longley, you big white dummy, get the rebound. You know, he's like trying his hardest to be into it, and it was hilarious. But I got that bonding time, like going to people's houses and watching NBA and NBC on Christmas, or thanks. Oh yeah, it was Christmas, and the Saturday games, Sunday games, these important games, and the theme song, like. Like, that got me hype, and that still gives me hype. Then we go to, you know, yes, the one-off for the White Sox. Then we have the long sustained run by the Blackhawks in 10, 13, and 15. And then the next year We get the Cubs to overcome the 108-year curse. We had a good run. But this is a market that needs that sustainability of we need at least one or two teams in a playoff hunt all the time. This city has the fans that are so passionate, that are ride or die. Bears fans and Cub fans are the biggest ride or die fans in the world. Doesn't matter what you can say about them. They're showing up. They're going to show up at your ballpark, and they're going to talk shit. Even though they suck, they're still going to do it. Look how many Bears fans were over in LA. Hundreds and hundreds. Probably thousands. I don't even know. I just know a lot of people went out there, and they got money. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to be a Chicago fan right now.
Got embarrassed. Yeah, you're right. It's very hard to be a Chicago fan right now.
Yeah.
It's next year.
I mean, I thought you had to retire that saying since you guys won it in 16.
Well, I'm just talking about Chicago in general. Like, fuck. Nothing right now. Like,
It's a blanket statement.
Right.
All right. Well, you know what? We don't need to take a break. We're just going to go straight into stirring the pot. So it's time again. It's time to stir the pot. Let's just go into it. I had a question because this was my dinner today because I'm trying not to spend as much money. So I had a frozen pizza. So my question to you, Ivan, what is the best frozen pizza?
I like DiGiorno.
A DiGiorno, you okay? Okay.
Yeah, with a DiGiorno. I like the Red Baron. Jack's is good. Like, honestly, I'll just eat pizza
Mm-hmm.
and I'll like it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like it depends on what's going on. Like if I'm like when I was a kid, when I was like broke and a bachelor, like
Yeah.
a Jack's, you know what I'm saying? Like you go cheap as shit. It's
Yeah,
the
3
cheapest
for 10.
fucking pizza, and it's the greatest. It's the greatest because you know what I mean. Like you're obviously partying and you'll be drinking, and it's just easy to go ahead and pop in, eat a lunch. Like I said, a hangover meal, whatever.
Yeah.
But like ever since I've gotten married and stuff, I'm like has to be an adult as
Mhm.
or I may seem
Somewhat.
somewhat. I like, and I've always liked the DiGiorno. It's just, but like I would prefer like a DiGiorno or like a gourmet type of pizza, Supreme. You know what I'm saying? Like before, I hated Supreme. It had to be specific, but like if I'm getting from a specific pizza restaurant, I might just go ahead and not get Supreme. But like if it's a DiGiorno, I want the Supreme.
Okay. All right. So you're the DiGiorno guy, as you alluded right there. You know what? Like you said, when you were poor and you're a bachelor,
right?
And like a Jack's, a Tombstone, Mama Cozy from Aldi, whatever's cheap is to get 3 for 10 or 4 for 12, whatever it was. Hey, you know what? At least I got 3 to 4 meals. I'll be all right this week because the rest of the time I can eat out.
Exactly.
That's perfect. That's a bachelor's life. But I mean, for me, I think, Jesus, I being a bachelor, I would go for that. But now I would say I can go get like a deep dish or a Connie's or a Home Run Inn. I can get some of those. I do have like a old school pizza oven that's electric, and you just put it in there, put the lid on, boom. Just as long as you preheat it for 5 minutes, it's steaming hot. And it's great. But I literally like the bigger, the Chicago chains that have the frozen pizza. But again, like today, it was it wasn't Jack's, it was a Tombstone. I went Tombstone, meat eaters, had bacon, the sausage, pepperoni, and whatever else kind of pig they put on there. But sometimes you just got to do it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, man, like there's not. Like trust me, frozen pizza is not beneath anybody. If it is,
stop living.
Stop there. Just get the fuck, out of here. You're probably way richer than I am, so like it probably is beneath you. But like either way, I enjoy a good frozen pizza. DiGiorno might be my favorite, but like I really don't discriminate. You know what I'm saying? No,
you don't discriminate. It's pizza. If you don't, come on. Unless you have a gluten problem, then sorry for you.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So Ivan, before we get out of here, what are you watching that isn't sports?
Okay, there's a few things. So, like
Woo.
I mentioned that the new Frasier, right?
Yes.
New Frasier, really enjoy it. Go check it out. There's only 4 episodes so far, but like it's its own franchise. It's its own show. So
Mhm.
it's not it's loosely connected to the Seattle show,
Okay.
right? You know, you still have certain mentions because it's back in Boston, so you have the Cheers connection. But
Ooh.
like you're establishing new characters and new stories. It's not like you're going back and regurgitating these old fucking stories and just member burying it up. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah, they
really
all last. Right.
right, I really enjoy. And speaking of member berries, well, the other thing I'm watching is I've watched it about 8 times, and I'm probably gonna watch it again tonight because I fucking just hilarious, hilarious. The new South Park, the
Really? Okay.
yeah, joining the Panderverse. So it's literally a how do I put this? They highlight the main reason why all Disney movies suck and like who's been involved in pretty much everything that Disney's doing and why they're changing characters to go ahead and and like race swapping for just for like likes and like pandering for just to do it, not like no real
Right.
significant reason. Like you're just doing it to go ahead and pander to the it crowd now. And it's been like every time I see it, I just laugh harder and harder because it's so fucking perfect.
Is that on HBO?
It's on Paramount
Okay,
Plus.
Paramount Plus. I have that. All right, cool.
Mhm.
I definitely watched that. Anything
Dude,
else?
no, I'm good. Other than that, it's been football, baseball
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah, I got baseball on. It's 3-0 Texas. For me, I find the season series finale of Billions literally just wrapped up on Sunday. I stayed up late, and as I was making the flyer for the show, I finished watching that. Phenomenal show. They wrapped up the show with a bow. Um, and if you have never seen it, it is an intense, financial, smart comedy drama or drama comedy, whatever you want to call it. The writing is phenomenal just because there's so many inside jokes, and if you know pop culture from the 70s, 80s, 90s, you're gonna get it because each show is kind of dedicated to some kind of theme or culture.
Mhm.
They had a wrestling one, like what they were talking about. Just everything they referenced was like, oh, this is a suplex to this guy and whatever. That kind of things. Where they even brought in Triple H. He was a character. Well, he wasn't a character. He played himself, but like,
Right.
you've had famous chefs. You had all types of cameos that they incorporated, and it wasn't forced. Paul Giamatti, one of my favorite actors. Just it's a great show. It's wild. So if you got time, I would say jump on that. Now that show's over, and I've been watching Loki. Loki has been getting great. Loki's one of those shows that you're gonna have to go on YouTube and look at for the Easter eggs and explanations because there's so much information jammed into each episode.
Mhm.
So, I mean, Loki's one of my favorite characters. So I definitely been watching those two things. And then lastly, I need my garbage TV. I got to watch Jersey Shore Family Vacation. I need to feel smarter than people next to me. So I'm just laughing. Ron is back. Sam is back. They're not in the same room yet, but they're back, and it looks like they're stirring up some drama. So that's it for me, man.
Yeah, I'm good too.
All right, y'all. That is it for today. Thank you for listening. A big thank you to our sponsor, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast T-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 at the checkout for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Get your shirts now. Check out the rest of the 606 Media lineup. The newest show in the 606 family is the No Water Weekend with Sean and Steven. Yeah, he doesn't listen to the show anyway. See, I know he's going to get upset. So also, happy birthday to Steven. It was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday, Steve.
Yeah, give him a shout out. He's not on the show today because he partied like a rock star yesterday. And so happy birthday, Steven. You're 45 again. Shout out to Ronesh Panic and Serious Beats and Custom Made for the beats we played on today's audio version show. Check out panicoutabeat.com, free moment merch and gear. You can check us out on social media. True Shy Fans. I'm sorry. I got to take that out. It is TCSF Pod on Twitter. And you can find us on Facebook. And you can reach out to us on our email, truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. You can find Ivan at the Tape Never Lies. Is that the handle, right?
Yeah, so you could Tape Never Lies on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find me at IvanV_TTNL on X or Twitter, like I said.
Yeah.
But yeah, check it out.
Awesome.
Tomorrow night I'll be on 7:30 Central on another Bears show talking about the Bears again.
Again. You do this to yourself, sir.
Yeah, I know. It's self-inflicted. I know this. I'm an addict. I'm a Bears addict. It's just what it is.
Have you been hurt by the Bears? You too can be in store for some compensation. All right, y'all. For Ivan, this is Big Z, and we'll see you next time for episode 168. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the